Good evening and welcome back to Prime of Midlife. This evening we are making butter. If you remember when I did my weekend shopping, I got double cream because it seemed to be a good price. So here we are with the double cream because the last thing I want to do is waste it. So we're popping this in the mixer and it's just a case of doing lots of whisking. So we'll just get as much as we can out of that just now and pop that in there, and then it's just a case of start whisking. And what we want to do with this is take it past the whipped cream stage until we start getting buttermilk out of it. So I'm just going to blast this. This is, move back here a bit, this is one of these things that seems to take forever when you first start, and then all of a sudden it changes. Now this is where it's gone past the whipped cream, and it's now at what I call the clumpy stage, and I like to make sure to get it all down from the sides, just so that it's all sort of ready at the same time. I mean, you probably don't need to, but it just makes me feel better if I do. So we'll just get this down from the side. As you can see, it's pretty solid now. And we'll just push that through. That's pretty much all of it ready for another mix, and it shouldn't be long now until we start seeing some buttermilk. Now this wasn't at full speed, it was at 4 with 5 being the max, and that took approximately 2 minutes. So let's go to the next bit. Now, this is where you can start to tell that the butter's happening. As you can see, we have the buttermilk coming off, but also the actual bits in the bowl are looking a lot more crumbly. You know, they're more bits than an actual consistency. They're all sort of separating a bit, and they will come back together. But that just lets you know that you're on the right track. So we'll get this going again, and it'll not be long. Okay, so now we have a big lump of butter, as you can see. Now, what I'm going to bring in here is a bowl of iced water. But first, what I want to do is I want to get the buttermilk, and I have a jar here somewhere, and that's too big a funnel for the jar, so we need the smaller one. And what I want to do is just pop the muslin over this and pour the buttermilk into the jar. seems to be taking its very own time. There we go. Now this stuff is absolutely lush if you use it for making pancakes. I love it when I'm making pancakes. Now, what you want to do now is pop this back on. I'll just pop this over here. What we want to do now is we want to rinse the butter to get the buttermilk out. So the first one, I'm just going to use tap water because my tap water's quite cold. We'll do the ice water for when I'm shaping it. So we're just going to pop this down. Oh no, we're not. What am I talking about? Helps if you put the microphone on cam. Oh, goodness gracious me. It's obviously being one of these days. So we're going to take the butter out of the whisk. And get it into the water so that we can rinse the buttermilk out. Because what happens is you want to get it rinsed, you want to get all the water out, because then your butter doesn't have those pesky air bubbles in it. Because I didn't do that the first time I made butter. I wasn't that particular about it. And when I went to go and spread my butter, it like made little popping noises all over the place. It was ridiculous. So this is what we're doing this time. We'll get this out here. Come on, out you come. There we go. Get that out there. So now we don't particularly need the whisk anymore, says her just realising. Oh. So I can take that out and just get the last of the bits of butter off of it. There we go. Right. Now we're going to give this a good mush. Because what we want to do is just try and make sure that we get as much buttermilk out as possible. So I want to do the first one in here. As you can see, it's getting a bit harder to work with because it's in the cold water. So what we're going to do now is transfer this over to the cold water. We're just going to use the same muslin. Because the thing is, you really need to wring it out once you're done. So let me just... get rid of that, get the little bits with my spatula. There we go. Now, one thing about this is you do get exceedingly greasy hands, hence the muslin, because we're going to be doing some squishings. Squishing is not one of my best points, so let me just move this up here a bit. So we just want to be giving the butter a good old squish. Man, that's cold. To get as much of the buttermilk out as we can. But I still want it, that is seriously cold, to be in one place. And basically that's going to do it, because my hands and I are not going to be dealing with that. Now what I have here is my glass chopping board. Now what we also want to do is we want to squeeze as much water out of this as possible. So we're going to do the twisty thing with this, because that's going to get way more water out than my hands would. And again, this is so that we get a nice smooth butter consistency. So now we'll move this bowl and we'll just get a dishcloth and we'll give this a bit of a wipe, because what we're going to do now is get the butter off of the cloth, and then we're going to make it into a pat. And to do that, I have my granny's Old Faithful, we have it here, I am molting, it seems. Granny's Old Faithful butter pats. What is that? Is that another here? We'll just take it out just in case. So, but we also want to, I like my butter salted. And in here we have some rock salt. So we're just going to put a bit on that side. Put a bit on that side. And then we're going to get Granny's butter pats. And obviously this has decided to make itself into two. So we're going to chop them up a bit, because obviously we need the salt to get blended in. So we'll do some chopping up. And then we'll put it all back together. And then we will have a way to see just how cost effective this is. I was thinking it was getting a bit better. I don't honestly know. I'm obviously not very good at making this into a shape. Okay, it's a bit flatter now. Okay, that's close enough. There's number one. And we'll chop this one up as well a bit. And again, just to get the salt in about it, so that it's not all on one surface. And then again, we do some squishing, trying to shape it. This time we're going to be sensible and flatten it first. I'm sure my granny was much better at this than I am, but I'm sure she'll be happy I'm using her butter pats. So there we go, we have 2 pats of butter made from one 600-gram jar carton of cream. Now what I'm going to do is, what is this? We have a 4-ounce, I don't actually know how many grams they are, but we'll do it in ounces anyway. There's 1. Ooh, look at me. There's 2. Are we as much as an 8-ounce? Yes, yes we are. Are we as much as a pound? No. Okay, so we have 8-ounce. 4-ounce, too heavy. Oh, ow. 2-ounce, so that's 8, 9, 10 ounces. 11 ounces. So I'm sure you can see. So I will work that out on the thing once I switch off the phone, and we'll see. But that is 11 ounces of butter for £2.30. So depending on how much your butter costs and where you are, it might be worth your while. Catch you later.